Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm going to talk about a few other things that are going on as well. $81 trillion mistake. Citigroup accidentally credited a client $81 trillion instead of $280. That's nearly the entire global GDP. The warnings are beginning to show. The legacy banking system is collapsing. Human errors, outdated systems, and manual fixes won't cut it in a high-speed digital world. Like I've been saying all along, when we get to real-time payments and the traffic is massive, these outdated systems and humans are not going to be able to keep up. This is why AI and blockchain is going to play a key role in the banking system going forward. And Mark Yusko says that banks risk a blockbuster-like decline if they fail to adapt to blockchain technology in the coming years. Take a listen to this.
The internet disrupted media and commerce. All the value that was in ABC, NBC, CBS went to Netflix. All the value of mom and pop stores went to Amazon. This entire 30-year period has seen a massive shift, but it's tiny compared to financial services. Financial services is the biggest industry in the world. It's a 7 trillion with a T. And the T word is such a big number that people are numb to it, right? You and I would have to stay here on the podcast for 31,710 years, which is great. You know, good looking as you are, as much as I like to talk, that would be painful. 31,710 years, $1 a second, that's 1 trillion. So 7 of those babies get spent, extracted, stolen, I will argue, from us every year because of trust. We have to trust the banks, the brokers, the insurance companies, the title companies, that our money, which is no longer our money, you put the money in the bank, it's the bank's money, and you have an IOU, but we trust that they're going to take care of it. Well, what blockchain does, and what Bitcoin as the perfect use case for blockchain, as perfect money, what it does is it disrupts that fundamental industry, and we go from trust to truth. And this is such a monster deal, and it's so big, right? And so resisted by the banks. And this is where I'm going to circle back to the answer, right? Which is in the olden days, right? I lent you money. I lent you $100 and I'm old. I wrote in my papyrus tablet that you owe me $100. And you come back a year later with 110 to pay me back. And I'm an unscrupulous guy. I've changed the number to 200. I'm like, Anthony, you owe me 220. You're like, Bubba, I only borrowed 100. You blew it. You trusted me. I was not trustworthy. So the Medicis, right? Some of your forefathers, way back, maybe not your forefathers, but somebody's forefathers, way back then, 838 years ago, said, you know what? That's a bad system. Anthony, you write down a number. Mark, you write down a number. And we, the benevolent Medicis, for a small fee, will make sure the numbers match. But here's the problem. In that year, while you're out earning the $10 to pay me interest, I go to the Medicis and I say, you know what? I'm going to change my number to 200. I'll give you half. They're like, done. Easy. So you come back to pay 110. I say it's 220. You're like, Medicis, what? Anthony, you must have written the number down wrong. You trusted us. Bad. So now, with the advent of a blockchain, we don't need an unscrupulous third party, bank, insurance company, whatever. We have truth. We have a blockchain, a ledger, a permanent, immutable trust record. Truth, a record of truth. Okay. And truth.
And that's what blockchain is disrupting. It's not just disrupting the banking system. It's disrupting the entire system. He's still kind of stuck on Bitcoin, though. He thinks Bitcoin is going to be the disruptor when it's just the distraction. The disruptor is what you're holding: XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, and so on. Those are the disrupting cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is never going to see adoption, because it's just too outdated. It cannot solve any problems in the real world. You can't transact in it because it's too slow and too expensive. But this is coming. And the banks are either going to get on board with blockchain, or the banks are going to be left behind. That's what you're holding when you hold XRP. You hold what's going to change this entire system forever. XRP equals winner in 2025. Layer 1 public blockchains. So you see, the selective outperformers are layer 1s, like XRP. What we see right now is Bitcoin. It's still controlling the entire market. And even meme coins are controlling this market right now. In fact, Bitcoin should be at a much higher price, but because meme coins are stealing most of the liquidity, Bitcoin still continues to struggle. Now, everything is going to change later this year once regulations come, because most of the meme coins are going to be gone and that liquidity is going to have to go somewhere. And the hype around Bitcoin is going to die under the weight of utility and adoption. So the meme coin money will most likely also end up in utility-driven cryptocurrencies. That's what I see happening in 2025. I still think Bitcoin is going to have one last surge, though. Another user lost $763,662 due to transaction history poisoning, copying an address with matching first 4 and last 6 characters. Avoid copying addresses from transaction history to prevent scams. I've seen this scam before. You gotta be careful when you're transferring crypto. You gotta be careful in everything that you do. You don't want to lose your crypto now. And don't trust the exchanges. Get your crypto off the exchanges. And I also gotta warn you of this. A $15 million crypto ransom, 6 kidnappers, 5 days of pure terror. Here's the full story of what happened. And they go on to tell you the entire story. But this is why you don't brag about how much crypto you're holding. Eventually, you will become a victim of this. You are making yourself a target. Think about XRP. When it finally starts to really take off and it's hitting these high price points that everyone is predicting to happen, all of a sudden, people are going to want to steal your XRP. So if you're out there bragging all over X and all over social media, saying this is how much XRP I'm holding, you are making yourself a target. Nobody warns you of this stuff. I warn you of this stuff because I actually care about you. I don't want you to lose your crypto because I want you to get financial freedom. I warn you not to be bragging about how much XRP you're holding because it will make you a future victim if you continue to do this. But I see people do it every single day. Bitcoin, XRP, and even ETH under scrutiny as market loses even more in the third day of rapid bear market acceleration. What it comes down to is this. We are still following Bitcoin. I still believe Bitcoin is being highly manipulated. I do believe Bitcoin is eventually going to start to move back up once again. It's going to pull the rest of the market with it. At some point, these utility-driven cryptocurrencies are going to decouple from Bitcoin. And when that happens, we will not be following all of these manipulated moves that are happening with Bitcoin right now. You know, institutions, Wall Street that's investing into those ETFs, every time this market dips a few $1,000s, they want to run for the door. That's what's going on. And that's why the money's flowing out of these ETFs right now. Everybody thinks that crypto is done. The bear market is now in play, but things are gonna turn around. And you gotta wait for it to happen. You can't sell because of a dip. You can't sell because the market turns red. You have to have balls of steel in crypto. That's what it comes down to. You have to be numb to this, because if you're not numb to it, you are not going to make it in crypto. You're going to sell too soon, and you're going to sell way too early, and you're going to miss out on financial freedom. The $1 billion blueprint for tokenized real estate, real world assets shaping Dubai. Dubai is going all in on tokenizing real estate, and that would probably be a great investment. There's some really high-end real estate in Dubai. Now imagine getting into that real estate market over there for just maybe a few $100s. That's what tokenization does. It allows the everyday investor to invest in real estate in Dubai. It's going to allow you to invest in movies in the future, music production. There's going to be so many things that you're going to be able to invest in thanks to tokenization. And take a listen to what David Schwartz says here, because he's telling you that institutional adoption is going to open up passive income options for all of us. Take a listen.
If you're holding $5 million in tokenized treasuries, the amount of margin that the issuer is making is microscopic. Your yield is microscopic, the margins are microscopic. So we're going to bring enterprises in for dumb reasons, like it saves them money, it's more transparent. They're not going to understand that it's going to do the same thing that stablecoins do. People use stablecoins for use cases that they could never use any other asset for. Like you can't use a non-on-chain asset as collateral for some DeFi application. And what's going to happen is they're going to learn that by tokenizing these real-world assets, all of a sudden they're going to realize that like they can target brand new use cases, brand new applications, brand new user base. So the strategy is to add the features necessary to get that enterprise adoption that paves the way for mass retail adoption. We're not going to see mass retail adoption of DeFi in the next year or year and a half, because all of the DeFi applications are basically gambling. I mean, they're either recreational applications or gambling applications. If we want to take over finance, we need the really boring, I need a checking account, I need a savings account, I need a retirement account, I need a stock portfolio, I need sensible investments, I need the equivalent of certificates of deposit. We have to build all the boring stuff, and enterprises are what's going to make that possible. So the strategy is, over the next year and a half to 2 years, bring in the enterprises with these features around tokenized real. They're going to do it for dumb reasons. Some of them will be visionaries. Some of them will see this vision and they'll come to blockchains because they understand that it's like revolutionizing finance. But a lot of them will be here just because it's cheaper and faster and it works on weekends and it has these tiny little advantages that are better is better, right? If I go to you and I say I have something better, you don't have to believe me that it's going to change the world. It's enough for you that it's better. And then hopefully in a year and a half to 2 years, we can really turn that corner to sort of mass retail adoption.
That's what I've been saying all along. It starts with institutional adoption. David Schwartz sees that happening in the next year or two, over the course of this time frame. Meaning, once it starts, we will already start to see the price of XRP change. So when we get to mass retail adoption, us as early investors, we already made a pile of money. Mass retail adoption is just money on top of that money. Even more gains for us because we were early visionaries. And I'm going to dumb this down, what he's actually saying. So the institutions, the reason they're going to get into this space is because they're going to come in looking for a whole new customer base. And retail is going to be their customer base. So they're going to bring DeFi solutions into this space so you could get that passive income. Now, you are early and you are a visionary, so the gains you're going to make in this space are going to be massive. Then when mass retail adoption happens, those people are going to be getting into this space late. And the gains that they're going to make in this space are not even going to be close to what you're going to make because you were early. You beat the institutions here. Is it making sense now? Because we're waiting for institutions to come and build out the boring stuff. That's going to lead us to no risk passive income. And that will attract retail into this space later. But because we're early, we will get the most gains. Wow, Trump getting roasted for Trump on a political stage. Take a listen to this.
Mr. Speaker, let's make corruption criminal again. 3 days before his inauguration, President-elect Trump launched the Trump meme coin. Trump's partners and some investors based in China pumped up the price, making hundreds of millions of dollars with early selling while the price was high. As they sold, though, the price plummeted. They duped more than 800,000 Americans who collectively lost $2 billion. Welcome to what experts refer to as a rug pull. When I was a criminal prosecutor, though, we had a different name for this. It was corruption. Foreign interests got the best presidency money can buy. Donald Trump got richer, and Americans got screwed. Today, I introduced the Meme Act, which prohibits top federal officials from issuing, sponsoring, or promoting financial assets with criminal and civil penalties. Mr. Speaker, our public offices do not belong to us. They belong to the American people, and they're not for sale. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I don't agree with him fully because he's saying that China made all the money on Trump coin. I don't believe that. I think what happened was this. In crypto, you have people that want to chase the next big thing. Trump coin was the next big thing. And I'm sure people from all parts of the world made some money off of Trump, not just centralized in one location. I think people know what they're getting into as well when they're investing in a meme coin. Do I think meme coins should be stopped going forward? I think if people want to take the gamble, then let them take the gamble. I think regulations are going to change this space. If something is a blatant rug pull, then somebody's going to be held accountable. Other than that, if somebody wants to launch a coin and they want to stand behind that coin, make sure it doesn't rug pull, then let them do it. I look at it as free enterprise and risk at the same time. But I just wanted to clear up what's going to happen with institutional adoption, because I think that is very close to happening. By the end of this year, we're going to be looking at a much different XRP. And I think we're going to be looking at a much different crypto space. Even if you look at XRP right now, if you were buying before Donald Trump got elected president, right now you are up on your investment. Back then, people said XRP was never going above $1 ever again. Remember all that FUD that we put up with for years? I'm talking ever since 2021. Now we're sitting well above $2. And I'm expecting a much bigger run up for XRP. But until it happens, you got to stay patient, stay positive, and we will get rich together. But until it happens, you got to stay focused as well. People are losing focus because of the dips. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.